everyone! Welcome to my cozy little corner of the internet. My name is SilviaFlowers. If you're new here, make yourself at home, and if you're not, welcome back. This is my 200 plus sub special, and I pondered on what to do for a bit, but I settled on making what is essentially an introduction video. As you've probably figured out, I'm an artist and animator, both of the fandom and OC varieties. Some of the fandoms I draw for are Welcome to Dreamworld, obviously, Warrior Cats, Undertale, Deltarune and Undertale Yellow, Age of J1, and Lego Monkey Kid. I have 3 main OC worlds I've been working on recently, mainly Undertale Blue, Orthodox Mayhem, and Burning Oxygen. The former 2 stories are with a group, and the last is almost entirely mine, but as you might imagine, I have some fan-based OCs too. Which brings us to the subject of today's speed paint. I wanted to make something for this video specifically, and I figured I'd showcase some things I like, alongside the different ways I represent myself. Of course, the main focus for this piece is a character that you're all familiar with, my Trusona. If you're unfamiliar, Trusona refers to a character who represents the artist creating them literally. So, she looks like me, she talks like me, she walks like me, she's basically me in drawn form. In technicality, this is the Welcome to Dreamworld version of her, which changes a few things, like giving her a set outfit made of clothes I don't have, and giving her a story, albeit a flexible one. Honestly, outside of the channel, I don't use her often. She's become more of a mascot for it than anything. Regardless, she's still me, and I've been drawing her more recently for non-channel related things. Now, before we go over the other characters, I'd like to briefly go over some of the extra boxes that surround me. I think the watermelon box is pretty self-explanatory. Watermelon is my favorite fruit and second favorite food, but I felt a little bit less confident in my skill of drawing pasta. I also included a song I've been listening to a lot lately, Best Friend by Toy Fox, which I don't think is playing right now, but it's a silly, fun song that gets stuck in my head a ton. Now, moving on to the meat of the drawing, the other 2 boxes that feature other personas I have. The first I'm going to focus on is my character Fang Li, who is my Lego Monkey Kid character. She's a sort of self-indulgent character and quite close to my heart. She's the least like me of the personas featured here, but has relationships with my favorite characters and a story I'm really proud of, so she's included here. Now, we get into the character with the most to talk about. The one, though far from the only, Sylvie Bunny. She's the character I've been using to represent myself technically since back in 2019, making her 4 years old, which makes her about 3 years older than every other character featured here. Sylvie Bunny, as we know her now, was actually made from an old VTuber model I made from a template back in 2022. Then she became a scratch model, and finally, I started more properly drawing her. She's actually got lore, but it's a lot to go into, so suffice it to say, she's a sorta overpowered character, which is balanced out by her lack of will to use said power, and the fact she's fundamentally unstable. Actually, I should probably elaborate. Sylvie Bunny's lore is basically that she's a combination of 2 different beings, and that isn't supposed to happen. So her power is mostly making sure that she doesn't cease to exist because she's breaking the laws of the universe. Fun stuff, right? She's honestly my perfect persona. I've tried to make ones that fit me better, but really it all comes back to her. She's not even any of my favorite things either, or at least she wasn't when I made her. Since then, some of the things that are part of her have become more of my favorites by virtue of being related to her. A couple fun facts about her are that she can create things with energy, such as the wings on her reference. I also redraw her reference every year on my birthday since 2022, so she's gone through 3 different references by now. It's a fun little tradition, and it works better than any other redraw this annually challenge I've tried, just because it's practical. I don't remember a random illustration with characters I may or may not still use, but I do remember my main persona's reference image. I'm especially proud of the one I made this year. It just conveys her personality really well, especially with how much she's gone through story-wise in the last 3 years, but I can't get into that for a number of reasons. Most prevalently is that it's long enough to take up a video all its own, and I've been procrastinating the script since May 26th. It's June 17th at the time of writing, my goodness, and it's June 22nd at the time of recording, oh gosh. Heartfight has really got me in its clutches this year. Anywho, this is probably the time the speed paint's wrapping up, so I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video. If you liked what you heard, maybe you'll want to stick around for a while and watch some of the other stuff I've made. You don't need me to show you my stuff, even if that's what this video kinda was. But you get it. Subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed, all of that. Maybe comment your favorite songs if you made it here. That'll be all from me though. I hope you have an amazing day. Take care of yourselves. Goodbye!